YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Miles Jordan, and I'm back with another video this week. I told y'all boys I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna drop y'all a video at least once a week. Y'all gotta hold me to it. I'm gonna drop y'all boys a video once a week. And today I got a topic I've been thinking about for a minute, and I'm finna give the game to the youngest. This video is for the youngest. I'm talking 25 through 17, especially if you're in the work world. I'm gonna give y'all the 5 people to avoid in the work world space, bro. If you avoid these people, bro, most of the time your work experience is gonna be pretty smooth. You're gonna be able to collect your paycheck and get on with your day. So let's get into it. Go. My number one person to avoid in the workplace, bruh, is Talking Terry. Now, you probably like, Miles, what is a Talking Terry? It's pretty much in his name. It's self-explanatory, bruh. A Talking Terry is a person that will talk your head off the whole shift. I'm talking the whole shift. Now, don't get me wrong. You can really get 2 type of Talking Terrys, but most of the time, you're going to get the Talking Terry, which I'm about to get into first. This Talking Terry, they're pretty much a narcissist. All they want to do is hear themselves talk. They want to talk about their things. And don't think you finna add to the conversation. You're not finna add to a conversation with a Talking Terry. They're going to talk about all themselves, nothing but themselves, and everything about themselves. You'll learn so much about a Talking Terry. You might even know this person's whole life story after one shift. And then you got the other Talking Terry. Now, this Talking Terry, most of the time, it's rare where you'll have this person that you can really talk about anything to, and you really enjoy it. And it's a lot of topics that you guys have in similar and in common, and you guys learn a couple of things from each other. Most of the time, those be old heads. I'm talking guys that's like 50s, 60s, 70s. You know, their time is pretty much up. You rarely find those, though. Most of the time, you're going to get the middle-aged to maybe even our age Talking Terry, where they're just going to talk your head off the whole shift. A lot of times, they even get lacking in the job, depending on whatever job you're doing. A lot of time, they lack where they're not even doing their job no more because they're too busy talking to you. And then your manager end up getting on both of y'all because this man is following you around like a dog trying to tell you everything about their life. Please avoid the Talking Terry. They're super duper annoying. They're going to make your shift. They may pass your shift. Don't get me wrong, actually. I take that back. They ain't gonna make your shift do nothing. They gonna pass that shift with that talking, especially if you're doing something boring. But a lot of times, bro, they just want to hear themselves talk, bro. Avoid the Talking Terry. My number 2 person to avoid in the workplace is a Tom. No, I'm not talking about the Tom that we've all know, but I'm talking about another type of Tom. And don't get me wrong, these people are the worst people ever. And if you don't know what a Tom is, just look at the screen. This person is the type of person that you want to avoid at all costs. Toms are the worst people ever. I know I just said it twice, but I gotta really reiterate that. Toms are the people that will smile in your face and pretend that they're your friend and pretend that they look out for you, when in actuality, bro, they're the ones that secretly backdoor trying to get you fired. You have to avoid Toms. Most of the time, Toms are just like Talking Terrys, but they're kind of different. See, with a Tom, they'll give subtle hints that they're kind of like a person that is all about themselves, a grand scheme of self, and they'll try to play like, oh yeah, I'm just like, you know, I'm a feeble older person. Nah, bro. Toms are the ones that are secretly watch what you do. They're watching everything you do, and then they go back and tell the manager, and then the manager start watching you, and then boom, you get fired for something stupid. Like, Toms are the worst, man. Like, Toms are the absolute worst. They're the most snakiest people on the job. And for some reason, I don't even know why Toms act the way they do. Most of the time, Toms are like 60 plus. Like, they're almost the oldest people on the jobs. Like, Toms are the absolute worst. They act so immature from them to be so old. That's why I don't understand Toms at all. Like, Toms will literally snake you out. Do not trust a Tom, and you can tell a Tom when you see one. Because most of the time, Toms tell them themselves. They'll end up telling you something about everybody in the job. And then if you really sit down and think about it, you be like, how do you know this? How do you know this about me when I never specifically told you that? That's how you know you're dealing with a Tom. A Tom will slip up and tell you something about yourself, and you didn't even talk to this person. Avoid the Toms at all costs. If I was you personally, don't say anything to Toms. keep your conversations to a minimal and just keep it cordial. Or if you're one of those people that don't even want to keep it cordial, just keep it pushing. Avoid Toms at all costs. My number 3 person to avoid, and it's probably just as bad as a Tom, is a Cam. Now, Cams most of the time are in our age range. I'm talking 17 through 25. That's what makes them so bad. Cams are essentially the work version of a crash out. If you don't know what a crash out is essentially a person that is like a short fuse. They'll do anything, say anything. Essentially, it's almost like they don't even care about their own life. Cams are people that you need to avoid at the workplace. And most of the time, Cams will let you know from the get-go. Your first day there, you will know a Cam when you meet one. Because a Cam will say anything to you. They'll come up and say anything to you. They'll come up and do anything to you. And you probably think like, oh, I don't want to react anyway because it might be your first day there. But you'll realize over time staying at that job, like, bro, I'm dealing with a Cam. So you got to choose and act the way you want to act. Cams are just like Toms, but they just don't do the telling aspect. Cams are essentially Toms that don't tell and don't care about their job either. Like, Cams don't care. They're like the people that they'll do anything, they'll say anything, they don't care about the backlash. And most of the time, Cams are people that don't even work. And for some reason, every Cam that I've dealt with usually are always in some form of power. Like, it's so crazy that a Tom is on the same level in terms of like the work, like your workplace environment, that Toms are like the same, they're on the same level as you. But Cams, for some reason, are always people in power. That's what never made sense to me. It's like, how is a Cam? We know this guy is a crash out. We know this guy is a loose cannon. We know this guy doesn't shut up. How is he in power, but a Tom is not? I feel like either way, you're kind of cooked. Now, you can get on a Cam's good side. If you get on a Cam's good side, they'll be the ones to kind of step up for you or kind of look out for you. But like, most of the time, you're not going to be able to get on a Cam's good side because they're so crazy. They're not, you can't control a Cam. A Cam is like somebody that you really just gotta kind of avoid, but you don't want to get on the bad side of a Cam. Because if you get on the bad side of a Cam, they can make your work environment a living hell. They will be the ones messing with you. They'll be the ones trying to talk and just say slick stuff. Like, don't pay a Cam any attention. The best thing to do with a Cam, bro, is say hey and keep the conversation at a minimum. You're going to notice that's a common theme in a lot of the topics that I'm talking about. Keep things minimal. Keep it minimal. Keep it pushing. Don't expose a lot about yourself. Just keep it pushing. Say hello and say goodbye. That's literally all you have to do. Number 4. And I know a lot of y'all going to be surprised by me saying this, but yes. Number 4 is avoid the Karens on the job. The Karens on the job are annoying. Yes, they are Karens on the workplace. They'll be the ones always complaining, always saying this, always missing work, always calling out, always going through some form of problem. Please let the Karens be. Do not interact with the Karens, bro. Most of the time, these people are going through a midlife crisis, bro. Avoid those people at all costs. Do not interact with them. Do not say anything to them. They are emotional wrecks. A Karen will cry if you say anything to them. Please avoid the Karens on the jobs, bro. They'll do anything. Karens do anything to survive. And most of the time, the good thing about the Karens, most of the time they don't even survive that long. Most of the time the Karens quit because their lives are such a turmoil and there's no balance in their life. They can't even afford to really keep the job. So avoid the Karens at all costs. Don't really interact with them, bruh. You don't want any situation to do with them. They're going to be crying. They're going to be an emotional wreck. They're going to be like, they're kind of crazy too. They're kind of like Cams, but they're not like Cams. Because it's like you kind of feel bad for them, but at the same time you don't, because they do too much with it. Like, they're just extravagant emotionally. So avoid the Karens on the jobs, bro. Avoid them. The last person to avoid, bro, is a ma'am. Now you probably like, what's a ma'am? Like I said, I'm gonna put it on the screen. A ma'am is the worst type of person to have, bro. Because these are people that have no sense of power. It's a lot of people in the work world that you understand get power and you can tell like they're a corrupted individual. A ma'am is like the prime example of someone that's gotten power and is extremely corrupted. Because most of the time, bro, they're the people that's above all the managers. Like, they're like the number one guy. Like, if you want to change anything about your shift or schedule, you got to go through them. And if they are a asshole, you're not cutting it, bro. If they're an asshole, bro, you're cooked. Like, you are cooked if they're that. Because they're not going to look out for you. They got favorites. And if you're not on that list, yeah, bro, you're essentially cooked. You're a goner. It's no point of trying to deal with a man, bro. The best thing you can do, bro, is just try to do your job at the best of the ability. Put whatever time you need to put in. Maybe you got to put in your 6 months. Maybe you got to put in your 9 months. Maybe you got to put in your 12 months. Maybe you got to put in 2 years. Who knows? Whatever goes with your life, and you need to do that. Whatever your job needs to do. But most of the time, ma'ams are the worst, bro. The best thing I would do is try to not interact with them as much, or only ask them for things when you really, really, really need it. But other than that, bro, don't really interact with them, bro, because they'll just write you up, fire you for anything, bro. They'll be the ones trying to have it out for you anyways. So avoid ma'ams at all costs. You'll probably know if you got one, bro, because she'll be the talk of the workplace. Most people like, bro, don't deal with this person, or don't deal with that guy. Like, you're gonna know if you got a man, bro. Boom, that is it. Those are your top 5 people you need to avoid in the workplace. Now, me personally, I've dealt with all 5 of them, so I want to be able to tell people who they should look out for, especially people in my age range. I'm 20, so people between 17 through 25, bro, I get it. If it's your first time getting a job, you need to look out for those people, because those people are the absolute worst. Now, don't get me wrong. Here's my disclaimer. Like, everybody's not bad, bro. It's really a lot of chill people that probably just want to go to work, collect their paycheck, and go back home. Like, it's majority people like that. But you got your fair share of rotten eggs, like the top 5 I listed. Like I said, bro, it's good. I'm happy to be back, y'all. Y'all boys like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all have experienced in the workplace. I love to hear it. I'll try to read each comment. So let's get it, man. Like I said, I'm back. I love making these videos. I'm going to try to be consistent. Drop y'all boys a video once a week. I know my editing has been garbage, but I'd rather choose quantity over quality. If y'all boys understand me, let's get it, man. I love every single one of y'all. I appreciate y'all for supporting me. I appreciate for the views. And let's get it, man. This is our year. 2025 is Miles Jordan's year, boy. The king is coming to get his crown. Let's go.